Yeah, it's a sad day for a lot of Hawkeye fans, but this weekend, 3 members of the men's gymnastics team earned All-American honors at the NCAA tournament. Senior Jake Brutazon and freshman Stuart Brown earned their All-American status on the parallel bars, and junior Herodor earned his on the high bar. Sophomore Bennett Huang finished in the top for the all-around event, wrapping up Iowa's season. But the men's gymnastics team wasn't the only one earning some national honors this weekend. Megan Gustafson won the Honda Sport Award for basketball. This Collegiate Women's Sports Award gives this award out to the athlete they believe represents the best of the best in college athletics. Gustafson was the first consensus National Player of the Year in Big Ten history and the only player in Women's Division I basketball history to average over 27 points, 13 rebounds, and shoot over 70% from the field. With this award, Gustafson becomes a finalist for the Collegiate Woman Athlete of the Year, which will be announced in June. Now, a few weeks ago, Gustafson heard her name called in the WNBA draft, and on Thursday night, Noah Fant is hoping that'll be the case for him at the NFL draft. Fant sat out the bowl game and left Iowa early to train for the NFL draft, but now he's back enjoying his time in Iowa City.
You know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot, fit right back in. It was good seeing all the guys and everything. And, this is kind of be my home base for the next month or so, taking in team visits and things like that. So, I had a good time training out in California, though, and it was a lot of fun out there, and it was good to kind of, eliminate all distractions and get out there and really focus on what I was trying to do. So.
And that time training out in California helped Fant put together really strong performances at both the Combine and Pro Day that helped lead some good conversations with NFL teams.
My performance was very well-rounded. My biggest thing for me was bench, and I was able to bench, with amongst, some of the higher tight ends, and I felt pretty good about it. I felt like it, it wasn't only speed or jumping. It was a pretty well-rounded performance. At the Combine, I had like 22 formal interviews, so it was a lot of teams asking, how my time was at Iowa, what my career was like, how I felt about things, and it was all very open conversation, and obviously not going to put a front on or anything like that, and so it was all very authentic conversations and very good conversations. I had very good meetings with pretty much all the teams I met with. So,
with his Combine results and those conversations with NFL teams, Fant has to be feeling pretty good heading into the draft on Thursday, but is making sure he'll go into the draft well aware that he has no idea where he'll end up.
You could be picked at 8 or 9, or you could be picked at 43. Anything could happen. Especially with teams picking up guys in free agency, things have already changed. The teams trade up or trade down, things will change again. So there's no real way to predict it, just kind of knowing I put my best foot forward and hoping for the best.
Now, Fant may have no idea where he'll hear his name called, but we're pretty positive he'll hear his name in the early to late parts of the first round. He's very athletic, has good speed, and is a challenge for any defender, and particularly linebackers. But Fant's biggest competition in the draft, none other than Iowa's TJ Hawkinson. So those two will definitely battle it out for the first tight end off the board. Now, there's no doubt the Iowa offense will miss the two-headed monster at tight end, and today we're hoping to get some answers on how they'll replace those guys and how the team is going to shape up during the spring season. DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodine is outside of the Iowa Football Performance Center to preview Iowa football's press conference today.
Today, we will hear from offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz and defensive coordinator Phil Parker for the first time this spring season. Now, looking at the offense, the biggest question we're going to have for Ferentz today is how is Nate Stanley looking and who is he going to throw the ball to next year without Noah Fant, TJ Hawkinson, and Nick Easley? We don't have a whole lot of questions about the running back situation right now because Iowa's got 3 experienced guys coming into this season. So the big question is how is Iowa going to make up for that talent that we lost from graduation and the NFL draft? And looking at the defense, the biggest question for Phil Parker is the secondary. The D-line and the linebackers are all bringing in some pretty experienced players, so we know what we're getting there. But with the secondary, we lost Amani Hooker and Jake Gervais, and Iowa's got to make up that productivity somehow. So that's the biggest question we're going to have for Parker today. And we plan to get answers for all those questions today at the press conference. Reporting from outside the Iowa football complex, Lucy Rodine, DITV Sports.
Now, as Lucy mentioned, you can come back tomorrow to DITV Sports to hear what Brian Ferentz and Phil Parker had to say. Back to you at the desk.